Good evening and good afternoon, everyone. All right, and thank you for joining us today for the opening of Paiband. Right, it's a solo exhibition curated by Shalu Yadav and assisted by me. Right, and well, I say like it's not a lecture. First of all, right, it's a very conversational thing. That's why for today's session, we are not presenting anything. It will be majorly like conversations so that everyone can participate, right? Because we notice that when we present something, it becomes a virtual class and people are just like looking at the screen what we are and don't listen to what we are saying, right? So if you have any doubts or queries, please feel free to add it in the chat or just raise your hands because it's a very small group. So I think we'll be able to get all the queries, right? Before I begin anything, I really want to ask you guys just one question. That has it ever happened that you repair anything, so it repaired or restored anything? It can be a object or a relationship or a memory or a place or even a part of yourself. S- just to give you an idea, okay, I repaired my hand once. It might be a lame idea, lame, but yeah, I had a broken bone, so it got fractured, and over the period of time, we had fracture, or like doctor put plaster on, and so on. But a more sensible answer I'll be like will be like when I first left India. Yeah, so I felt like there was something which was stretching, right? And since then, I'm just trying to pull that thread back in the main cloth. I hope it makes sense. Yeah. Anyone else would like to say something?
Yes, me.
Yeah,
I
sounds great.
guess I guess we all have repaired something in our lifetime, or we have seen someone around us from our family or our loved ones. So once I broke my earrings, and I went to my papa and I asked him to repair it for me. So then yeah, he glued it together. So yeah, that is one memory of me where my father repaired the piece of earring for me. So I guess you see it in your everyday life where people are repairing things, even if you're doing it for
Yeah,
yourself. And it's not just limited to objects and things, but to relationships as well. So yeah, it's a constant thing.
agree. I'll say that's a very cherished memory you had. Yeah, so these kind of memories are something which everyone preserves, right? What about you, Thanvat?
Yeah, I mean, like I never repair anything. Like it never happened myself, but I saw like my dad. Like one time, he have I'm not sure like how to call that, but he like broke his knee like kind of broke or something. He had like surgery
Mhm.
about his knee. Yeah, have to put like some IO or something to combine it together or something like that.
Yeah,
But I think it's about his age. It's not just about like some accident or something like that. But it's because like he's getting older, so like that's why something that have to change or something have to repair.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's true. That's true.
yeah.
That's true. Anything, Tanishk, would you like to add?
Uh, no, sorry. I'm still thinking. Like I'm good at destroying events, so cannot think of
Sounds
repairing
great.
something.
Sounds great. I'll say that's even more interesting because once you know how to destroy, then you only understand the true meaning of having it together,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, and I think all these instances you guys shared, right? Deep below the, like, if I'll say, like, okay, on the surface, it's just a random thing broken and someone fixed it, right? It can be earring, it can be bone for our cases, right? Or anything, right? But deep down, it leaves a emotional emotion which we are trying to like visualize, right? How are we trying to visualize? Like the moment I asked you guys, like, okay, tell me about this, all of a sudden those visuals start coming in front of your eyes. You started reliving those visuals, right? And that's the idea behind this exhibition as well, right? Where the word repair, right, is it's not just a literal, it doesn't have a literal meaning of just putting two things together, right? It's about having those memories or ideas coming in, right? So I don't know if you guys know or not. Paiband is a Urdu word which means the patch. So how people use how what the patch means. So if you get a cloth which is torn from somewhere, right? In like I'll say my grandmother, to be honest, right? She used to like put an extra piece of cloth on the top and stitch it together, right? And this makes it like brand new, right? Like, oh, it, and a lot of times what she used to do, she used to create some patterns around it, like flower or something, so that that patch doesn't look a patch, it becomes part of the thing itself, right? So similarly, in this exhibition, it's not about the patch, I'll say. It's not about the repair. It's about what goes in it and what comes after that, right? What comes after that is the love and warmth, and what goes in it is the memory. Because patch, over the period of time, patch becomes the part of the cloth itself, but it still holds what's underneath, right? So in the society where we live, right? This exhibition stands and asks a question about how we connect with the places, or how our memory survives when there are tons of fragments all over the place, right? Or how do communities hold themselves together when they are on the brink of getting disappeared, right? How things evolve, how some traditions we keep with ourselves, some tradition we just forget, right? How those different ways of living affect who we are today, what we think we do, right? And that different ways, those different ways is something this exhibition is trying to talk about, right? While you guys are like w- so to be honest, exhibition is available online at artlune.com, and I if you give me a second, I can put that link in the chat for you guys to have a look so that anyone can see this. Okay, perfect. So it's all like the idea of this exhibition is to, it's not to like put you on a spotlight, right? The idea is to make you think and make you understand and self introspect, right? Because when you'll be looking at the works, you'll notice, some of you might notice that, oh, the material the artist used, it's so different, or the process artist had is different, or what. For me personally, I'll say, like, when I looked at those works for long enough, it makes you go on a journey, right? A journey where you are reliving those memories which are somewhere deep inside your mind, right? And one most important thing I'll say in this exhibition is that here, repair is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of resilience. So I'll try to explain this. So, if have you guys seen Studio Ghibli movies?
No, I never.
Have you guys heard of The Howls of Moving Castle or Spirited Away or Marine Was Here or Secret Life of Verity? Any?
I have watched The Grave of Fireflies.
Grave of Fireflies, one of my favorite, I'll say. Yeah. So what Studio Ghibli does, this is what I like too much a lot about that particular studio. It doesn't teach you to forget the grief and move forward. It teaches you to cope up with the grief and move with it. So it becomes part of your life. And similarly, if you look at the works of Rafique Shah, you'll find the similar patterns. You see, Rafiq Shah hasn't forgot who he is or haven't lost his roots. He evolved with them. He took it with them and moved forward with it. And those layers become the representation of what he feels, right? So I'll say without, because I can speak forever about this because I know Rafiq Shah since 2018, right? And since then, we talk a lot, and I know a lot about Rafiq Shah. So I can talk for ages, but I'm not the curator of this show, right? Curator is Shalu Yadav. So I would like to invite Shalu today to say, like, speak about his journey, her journey throughout this exhibition, what she felt. Just a quick, I'll say a brief thing which she'll be talking in a curatorial walkthrough. Just a brief of that. So, Shalu, stage is all
Thank you,
yours.
Vikas. Thank you so much. And good evening, everyone who are present here. And it genuinely matters to see all of you here for the opening. I want to begin by the question which Vikas asked a while ago. What is something in your life that has been repaired, restored, or stitched back together? To which a lot of you responded, like it is like our core memories, uh, where I guess either we or someone who is very close to us has repaired something or restored back, and it does not necessarily can be linked to objects but to relationships as well. So I think the reason that questions land so quietly and so deeply is because most of us have never been asked about it directly. Because I guess nobody has thought that, oh, repairing a thing can be a core memory for someone. But when we cast asked about it, we immediately got reminded of certain things which happened in the past. So we carry these repairs with us, we live with them, but we don't pay much attention to them. And this is what exactly Paiband means, and what is this is what we are trying to do through this exhibition. And I guess every one of you have repaired something or have seen around someone you doing that. Uh, but if we look a bit deeper, we realize that this repair is not about just objects, but relationship as well. Or sometimes we repair or uh, bring back a part of ourselves that has been lost, or maybe about places that we have left, and somehow we try to find them again in different forms. Just like when Vikas mentioned that when he moved from India to UK, so he took memories of his family, his home, of country to the place, so he could live with them and he can feel the warmth. So these are some kind of memories which live within ourselves. And when uh, when you are getting like when you start getting lost of that touch, of that warmth, then you start remembering all those instances, all those things back again, so so that you can feel that warmth and you don't get the homesickness feeling. So yeah, so this is exactly why this entire exhibition is built around. And I guess this is the very exact feeling which even Rafique Shah is trying to portray through his works. Like when he started his life in the city, when he moved from his village, and he started practicing art professionally. So he carried a part of his inheritance of his family and that love with him. And even when he moved to big cities, the charm of the cities did not let those memory fade away, because he had hold them very tightly, and he is still using them in his artworks, which can be seen very clearly in all his works, and which you will be also seeing in the works which are being exhibited in this exhibition itself. So let me tell you a bit more about how this exhibition came together and what this word particularly means. A lot of things has been already told by Vikas. So this word Paiband, it came not from a curatorial belief or theoretical framework, but it came with Rafique's own life. As he grew up watching his grandmother repair the torn cloth. As he describes himself, that he belongs from a Sufi fakir family. So when he was growing up, he saw his grandmother. So she used to stitch the patches of cloth on a big cloth, like to hide those. I mean, what should I say? Like the tone. I mean, when the fabric is toned, so she used to cover it so that uh, that fabric can be used for longer time and not to be thrown away. So they were repaired with whatever fabric was available to them, and those pieces were cut and placed over each other and were used to stitch by hand. So it was like that the damage never happened. So it was more like a concealment, not taking it as a loss, but adorning it to beautify it even more and to hold all those pieces together. And as Vikas mentioned, that those patches, they became part of the cloth itself, and even you stop noticing them as like fragments, but taking it as a whole part of the cloth. And I mean, when I heard Rafik describe this particular word, me and Vikas, we immediately knew that this word would be perfect for the exhibition title. Not just because it's a beautiful word or something new and creative for the audience, but because it is the most precise word that describes his practice and his inherited memory. So it is not like painting over the past, but it's like building layers over it and not letting go of the things, but holding them together so you can just cherish them for always. So that's what Paiband mean, and that's how we title this exhibition as Paiband. Uh, so yeah, if I talk more about how this exhibition came together, so because we knew that we have to work with Rafique Shah, and when we sit with his paintings, uh, I mean, you don't feel the feelings. I mean, no, not the feeling instantly when you look at them, but once you sit with them, you start feeling more and more. And by the time goes by, uh, I mean, you how you interpret and look at those works, it changes. I mean, the feeling you got when you watched it for the first time and the feeling when you watched it over time, it changes, and you get to learn a more things. And I mean, you observe more things about the artwork itself. Um, and you will. feel that you don't want to rush it while watching the artwork. It will feel like that someone is holding you back, and it slows you down. And since it slows you down, you start noticing a lot of things. And when we were looking through his portfolio and going through all the works, uh, every time I went through his portfolio, it gave me new thing every time I went through it. And I think if you go through the exhibition and look at all the works, you will find yourself standing or looking at the works, uh, and you will feel that you should look at them for a longer time, longer than you will expect, because those works will make you stay. And uh, and and you might also feel the feelings which the artist wants to portray himself. So yeah, it's also the exhibition is live. I've shared the link in the comments so you can just check it out. Um, so since our artist hasn't joined us yet, so I will just give a quick brief about him. So Rafique Shah is an Indian abstract artist whose practice explores memory, silence, and the emotional residue of lived experiences through his layered surfaces in his abstract art. He was born in a small village in Madhya Pradesh, and since he later moved to cities, so his life was also shaped by the complexities of urban life. So we can take his works as they move between the rural memory and the contemporary restlessness, where those visual spaces where his artworks they carry the traces of belonging, rupture, and repair. So he comes from a Sufi fakir family, where he himself describes as his artistic language is deeply informed by inherited spiritual and cultural memory. And his paintings are often emerge from observations of everyday life, um, like the surfaces he has seen since his childhood, or the core memories which he has seen, or the architecture he has seen is in his village. So when we had a discussion, so when Vikas asked him like when was the first time he made some artwork and when did he start creating the artwork, so he had described that when in rural in countryside you have uh, the bathroom walls, or you see the walls in your house around the house and they were chipped off, or sometimes the water get splashed over the surfaces, so you start noticing the figures into them. So that's how he began looking at those figures, and he got very fascinated by them. And once he got in touch with the colors, he says that like colors were something which gave him a freedom, sense of freedom, where he could create uh, the things which he did not had physically with him at that particular time. So that's how he describes painting and his artistic practice as a freedom, where he can create anything over the canvas, and he basically outpours his feelings on the canvas, and he feels most liberated while he's painting. So that was very fascinating, like listening to him telling about his artistic life and how he started getting into it. And one more interesting thing, when I was watching that video where Vikas asked like what career would you choose if you were not an artist, and he insisted that even if that was not the case, he would have still chosen being an artist in any or the other form. I mean, apart from that, there hadn't been any career which was near to being an artist. So yeah, that was very funny and exciting to hear him say like that. So yeah, um, that's about Rafik Shah, and I guess he will tell you guys more about himself once he joins us. So we are just waiting for him to join.
Yeah. Uh, Maybe he'll join, but thank you, Shalu. And with this, I remember that incident why he said, I want to be an artist, right? There's a story behind it. So when he was young, so during that time, MF Hussain create a controversial painting or a video. What was it? Gajgamini, I think. I think so, Gajgamni. I can't remember exactly. So in his village, people were burning the statue of MF Hussain. So they made a scarecrow type of person, and they were burning MF Hussain. So he asked his friends, like, who is this guy? He's not a politician. He's not a famous person. Who is this? And why are they burning? Right? Then his friend said, he's MF Hussain. He's a very famous painter. And that's when he decided, like, oh, like people also know painters, artists, rather than just politicians or film stars, right? So that solidified his will to be an artist. And when he moved to city, he did his bachelor's. And when he was doing his fine arts, right? So all the artists from progressive art group like MF Hussain, Tayyib Mehta, SH Raza, right? They all were there praising his works, right? And he was like, they were so big artists and they were so ground to earth, right? And they were like, oh, come with us, you young kid. We'll go have a tea, right? Or when they were having the group photo, they made them stand in the center because he was so young. And that humble gesture of those big artists made him I'll say made him like stamped his belief of being connected to the roots and making sure that doesn't matter what happens, because he says this, like, if you are in this world you'll get the food, right? But that's once, but when you are successful, that the success is in your brain, right? And you start teaching people, like start disrespecting or looking at everyone like down, right? So he made sure that this won't happen, right? And if you'll talk to him, I'm extremely sorry artist is not here, but make sure to attend conversation with the artist. You'll see how down to earth Rafique Shah is, right? When he speaks in Hindi, we use this word sahaj. So that word means effortless. When he speaks effortlessly, and he has those very like exciting ways of saying things. He used a lot of muhavare. I don't know the English word. That's like some
Idioms, idioms,
idioms. Yes,
idioms
thank
and
you,
phrases.
thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, he used a lot of those in his conversation, and his pain. If you look at the titles of his work very closely, right, you'll see it always come down to his memory, right? There's this one artwork called fragment of the light, something like that, right? And see this that work, and you'll see like so many lights are there, but there's no one solid thing. It just everything is just passing, right? Like he's trying to hold some fragments from his memory, or echoes of the silence. You look, those shades of blues, they are just make sure that you are in the work. And so so interestingly, he used diagonals, straight lines, and all those lines patches has some gap in between. So those gap becomes a way to just go in, right, and see what's beneath the layer, what's beneath it. And trust me, it's a rabbit hole. Once you are in there, there's no coming out. You're just there enjoying those surfaces, colors, and textures. I don't know. As I said, I can speak tons. I just love the work of Rafique Shah. But sadly enough, Rafique Shah is not here with us. But as I said, as I mentioned earlier, we have a curatorial walkthrough and conversation with artists. Please join us for that so that you'll see how interesting Rafique Shah is. So I'll say since it's a small group, we can initiate the conversation and like initiate the discussion. And if anyone has any doubts or queries, please feel free to ask. If not, I have some questions for everyone, right? So I'll be looking forward to those answers. So anyone? No. Okay, pin drop silence. Now this means I have to pinpoint some people. Okay. Tanish Pratap Singh. Hello. Tanish.
Hello. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So any comments on things so far we discussed? I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
No. No. Amazing. I'm just waiting for the artist. And as you gave the flashback of the story, where the progressive art group and the humbling experience of the artist, it was so, yeah, assuring. And yes, like, it's so good
Thank you
to
for
listen such a story.
oh, sorry, I
Yeah.
it's hard for me to hear you. Could you please speak a bit louder? Extremely sorry. It's just my old earphones.
Uh, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just saying, so assuring and sounds good about great artists who are so humble and welcoming to the young artists whose works are towards their direction, or I mean whose work whose work is such like Rafique Shah. So such group of great artists are always welcome welcoming towards them. So yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And
Anything
like
you would like to
for
add?
me, it's might not a question, but like every time I tell you, like it's made me feel like more easier to get into that artwork when I saw like the history or some story behind that work. So like it's made me really impressed about that every time, honestly. Yeah.
I'll say thank you for this feedback. I'll say it's not the work itself, it's the as you said story behind it. This is
Yeah,
what makes it more interesting,
yeah, sure.
right? Which leads to a question which I really want to ask. To be honest, I wrote this question for myself, but I feel like you are the perfect audience and I really want everyone's opinion. So, and people who are listening or look watching this video, please comment down that what are your thoughts, right? So the question is, can everything can be repaired?
Mm, interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. For me, not everything. Can I answer first? Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think it's not everything. I think the thing that come up in my mind after like I got that question was thinking feeling is hard to repair, honestly, about the feeling because like people always compare your feeling with some of like glasses or something like that. Like I think it's really quite the same thing. Like when even when like for example like when you fight with your friend or something like that, it's sometimes it's hard to repair our feeling and combine it together, even like you might close to that people like more than 10 years or something like that, but it's really hard to come back. So I would say that feeling is not the thing that you can repair. Yeah, for me.
Fair enough. I
For
agree. Yeah,
me,
Tanesh.
uh, I think no, not everything can be perfectly repaired, but as you said, we can cope up with the broken aspect of life, and we we can just cope up and learn to navigate how to move forward, just to carry on. Like my dog of 11 years passed away last year. Then we were all shattered. I mean, as a while growing up, I haven't lost someone, almost like. he was just a pet, but as a conscious being, I have not yet lose someone. So, like that dog, my pet was uh, that. So anyway, but my our family was shattered, and we didn't eat something for days. But the repair aspect can be we bought another puppy, and that can be a repairing aspect. But as I said, not perfectly repaired because the the pet who was passed away, Byron. So Byron, uh, he I think everyone or everything is unique in life because the time it came to our into our life, and so many aspects. So yeah, the wound is healed, of course, with the new pet. Attention is gathered towards the new pet and all the playing stuff and all. But the things which made us made us loved and you know attached towards Byron and cannot be recreated. Yeah.
Agree, agree, and sorry for your loss, to be honest. And yes,
Okay.
anything you would like to add, Shalu? Because I have a follow-up question with it.
Yeah, I guess when I heard about the dog, I mean, I want to keep a pet, and but what scares me most is like when he or she passed away. I mean, that shattering feeling, it just makes
Yeah.
me stop having the pet.
Sadly, dogs have a very short lifespan. It just we never realized we will lose him very soon. Although 11 or 12 years is the lifespan, but you are always in a denial that okay, for 4 or 5 years extra he will live. So yeah, very short life.
And yeah, when Tanish mentioned that he got another puppy, so when you mentioned that if things can be repaired, so I guess when you layer something with other emotions, or when you are in grief, when you want to replace that particular emotion, so that layering of the thing, so I guess that is a form of repair in itself. I mean, you are still in that process of grief, but to somehow live through it, so you start creating new memories. So yeah, so it will give you a relief for a period of time. So yeah, I guess that's a form of repairing itself.
I have a question in this regard. So, is it a repair or is it the thing getting transformed into something?
Um,
Good question actually. Transform. I would say transform because repaired is a repair is a solution oriented word, but transform,
Anyone else?
regenerative, creating new memories.
Yeah, go on, Shalu.
so yeah, to me, repair sounds more like a technical word, but when that particular object is repaired, I mean, the final product it becomes after repairing, then you called it a transformation, and that is the process, and that is how you can look at the new product that has been formed. And
Oh, Rafique Shah is here.
हाँ भाई यार सॉरी मैं ये एग्जीबिशन चल रही थी हमारी यहाँ पे तो उस वजह से इसकी भी ओपनिंग है तो
Yeah.
मैं थोड़ा लेट हो गया, माफी चाहूंगा।
कोई कोई दिक्कत, देर आए दुरुस्त आए, राइट, है ना। मैं यही बोलना चाहूंगा, देर आए दुरुस्त आए। बहुत बहुत खूबसूरत एग्जीबिशन लग रही है पीछे, बट
मैं दिखाऊं आप
यहाँ पे,
लोगों को, ये
जी
एग्जीबिशन भी दिखा देता हूँ। ये गोंड आर्ट की आज हमने ओपनिंग की है, और उसमें ये
रजा
सारे,
फाउंडेशन के थ्रू, राइट।
हाँ, रजा फाउंडेशन का शो चल रहा है।
या बहुत बहुत खूबसूरत काम है।
अब तो
हाँ,
खत्म हो गए, सारे लोग जा चुके हैं और कुछ ही लोग
हाँ,
बचे हैं। तो इस वजह से मैं इतना बिजी था कि मैं उस समय आ नहीं पाया। और
कोई कोई दिक्कत नहीं है भाई, मैं बिल्कुल समझता हूँ, है ना।
हम्म,
बट अच्छा हुआ आप आए, है ना, क्योंकि हम लोग यही डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि अगर राफिक शाह यहाँ पे होते तो वो बहुत खूबसूरती से बता पाते अपनी लाइफ जर्नी, है ना। तो हम लोग अब, आप ही का स्टेज है पूरा, है ना, तो प्लीज
अरे
प्लीज प्लीज अपने बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए, ताकि जो लोग नहीं जानते राफिक शाह, जो लोग नहीं, जिनको नहीं पता, तो वो समझ जाए, क्योंकि बहुत तारीफें कर दी हमने आपकी।
नहीं नहीं, ये सिर्फ एक मैं तो एक सिर्फ साधारण सा चित्रकार हूँ, इसमें कोई, और चित्र बनाना ही मेरा सबसे बड़ा कर्म है, क्योंकि सब अलग अलग तरह से अपने अपने कर्म करते हैं। तो मेरा कर्म चित्र बनाना है, और रंगों के साथ अ, अपना एक बातचीत करना, रंगों के साथ मिलना, यही सब कुछ होता है। और सबसे बड़ी बात, पेंटिंग में ऐसा कुछ खास नहीं होता। उसके रंगों में आप जब रंग लगाते हैं तो वो, मेरे आप देखेंगे पेंटिंग में सारे रंगीन काम है। तो सारे रंग एक एक दूसरे के साथ जो बातचीत कर रहे हैं, जैसे कि ये गोंड गोंड कला है, ये जो गोंड आदिवासी कला है, ये भी आप देखें, इसमें रंग की जो बात है वही, हर रंग अलग अलग है। हाँ, और ये किसी फॉर्म में आ गया तो वो एक चेहरा दिखाई दे रहा है। हाँ, और यही कुछ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में आ जाता है तो फिर वो मेरी पेंटिंग नजर आती है ना। रंग
बिल्कुल
एक ही है, लेकिन कभी वो किसी फॉर्म में आ जाए तो आप उसे पहचानने लगते हैं कि ये हाथी है, आपने देखा है। लेकिन वही फॉर्म, वो उसी रंग को आप एक फ्लैट कलर में लगा दे तो वो हाथी नहीं दिखाई देता। हाँ, तो क्या होता है, कई बार हम अगर हम जैसे हाथी को हाथी नहीं कहते, वो एक पेंटिंग है ना, दिस इज नॉट पाइप, आपने देखी होगी। तो उसने संसार बदल दिया देखने का,
ट्रू,
क्योंकि ये तो विजुअल है, और उसी विजुअल में सब रंग होते हैं। और
बिल्कुल।
काफी सारी चीजें हैं, लेकिन मैं काफी थैंक यू, आप लोग आए और आपने ये मेरी एग्जीबिशन के लिए, तो मुझे बहुत ही खुशी है। और आप क्या
या
बता रहे थे, जैसे मेरे बारे में आपने कुछ ज्यादा तो नहीं बोला।
हम बस आपकी तारीफ ही कर रहे थे कि किस तरीके से आपका काम है, किस तरीके से आप काम बनाते हैं, क्या आइडिया रहता है पीछे, है ना। मैं समझ सकता हूँ आज आपके पास टाइम बहुत ज्यादा नहीं था, इसलिए थैंक यू आने के लिए। बट हम लोग कॉन्वर्सेशन करेंगे प्रॉपर राफिक शाह के साथ, जिसमें
हाँ
राफिक शाह
हाँ,
पूरा समय हमें देंगे, राइट। सो
बिल्कुल
एवरीवन
बिल्कुल
मेक
बिल्कुल।
श्योर टू जॉइन अस फॉर दैट।
हाँ यार, आज थोड़ा सा मुश्किल था, क्योंकि
परफेक्ट,
बिल्कुल।
थैंक यू,
अच्छा,
थैंक्स,
अ,
थैंक्स अलॉट राफिक भाई आने के लिए, है ना।
अरे अरे,
पक्का अब जब आर्टिस्ट कॉन्वर्सेशन होगा और क्यूरेटोरियल वॉक थ्रू होगा, देन इट विल बी ग्रेट अगर आप वहां पे हो, है ना, क्योंकि उस वक्त आपकी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ेगी हमें।
हाँ हाँ, जरूर जरूर जरूर।
हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है भाई, आपका ज्यादा समय नहीं लेंगे आप अभी, है ना।
हाँ,
ओके।
चलो
थैंक
फिर, है
यू।
ना, आप लोग,
हम्म।
मैं जरा इस एग्जीबिशन को, क्योंकि मैं ही
जी,
हैंडल कर रहा हूँ ना, तो बड़ा मुश्किल है इस समय।
आई टोटली अंडरस्टैंड।
अ,
ठीक है, ओके, थैंक यू। बाय।
चलो अब,
ओके, बाय। Yeah. So he was Rafiq Shah. Sorry, Thanwat. We all of a sudden switched to Hindi. Otherwise, it's tricky for Rafiq Shah to understand, right? I hope you understood everything. If not, we'll be sharing transcript, and maybe you'll be able to understand that.
Yeah, please, because like even I already turned on the CC, it doesn't like translate well. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's totally fine. I can understand. Otherwise, feel free to contact us. We'll let you know everything.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, so before Rafik joined, we were discussing, does repair actually, like when you found something else, does it actually repair or does it transform? So, and that's, I think that's a very interesting thing which came out with this exhibition, that we need to think, is it what is repair and what is being transformed? So Thanwat, would you like to, like, I
Yeah,
know we have a limited time, would you like to add something in it?
yeah. For me, like it's quite different between like when we talk about repair and transformation, because like repair is like we still keep something, we still try like to fix something. We don't want to change them. We just like try to make it like better or come back to the real form that they already have. But transformation, like also something like we change from something to another thing. Like it's another thing is quite different. So that's the thing that come up to me. Yeah.
Okay. So is it fair to say that once something is broken, and the moment you move forward with that emotion, not by abandoning it, just by keeping it close to your heart, and then slowly l- putting those things in your memory, that's it, nothing tangible anymore.
Mhm.
That's when you actually transform,
Mm,
and that's when you start thinking the repair not just as a repair, but as a part of a fragmented memory.
mm. I get what you're saying, but I just try to think like, mm, yeah, it's different. Like when I give the first example for you, to you, right? But when you change like about our memory, so it would say that it's kind of like transformation, like because we change like from like when you say about dog, but okay, we don't have anymore, but they still in our minds, in our memory. So we just change. Yeah. It would say transformation, right? Yeah, but it's like hard to. Yeah. Sorry about.
Yeah, I understand, because it's the same feeling when you evolve, right? Like transform and repair gives you the same feeling, but it's as different as a decoration and ornamentation,
Mm,
right? Although it's the same word, but it has similar meanings, but they both are used in different occasions,
mm,
right? So yeah, I for me, because as I said in the beginning, this I asked this question, I wrote this question for myself, right? But because you were the right audience to ask, it gave me opportunity to ask this. Yes, Shalu.
I got reminded of one example for this. The Japanese art of repairing the pottery, it is termed as kintsugi. So when the broken pottery, it is repaired and it is glued together. So there are the visible joints when you like join it together. So to conceal it and to beautify it, or we can term it as transforming. So to transform that, they apply the gold color on it to make it look more, I guess, beautiful, and to hide those repairs and to conceal it. So I guess this is what transformation looks like. I mean, it's being repaired. You can see the joints like where it has been broken. But now, after all that process of repairing it, you are still concealing it, but it is somehow visible. But now that you have beautified, so I guess that's the whole process of transformation. I mean, it can be seen in that kind of art.
Agree, and I think I was coming to the similar point, but I'll say I was trying to use a different word rather than hide. I would have used embrace it. That's why they show it openly, right? Yeah, nothing is perfect, right? Everything has flaws. And this is what actually the true meaning of life. We every day we woke up, we made 10,000 mistakes, and next day we message people, hey, sorry, this happened. What we did, we put a patch on it, right? What is done is already done, but we cannot go, we cannot just run away. We accept it's a mistake and we move forward. I don't know. It's a very interesting title, and the conversations around this thing can go on and on, because it's very personal and very close to everyone's heart, right? Although nobody shares everything, right? But everyone feels something. So, since we are reaching towards the end of our discussion, I would anyone would like to give any final thoughts? Okay,
Um,
perfect.
I mean, not much, but I just really interested about the question that is trying to make me remind about the thing about like, I also think about some word. I'm not sure that it's linked to the word that you give me or not, but I think about like recovery, like is so me it's between the repair and transformation, and sometimes we just use the word to recovery, not just our health, not just a tangible thing, but some intangible thing as well. Yeah, this is the thing that I want to add more.
Yeah, the recovery is a good word, and I'll say it's a process. Like, it's a in between space. When you are broken, you try to repair yourself, and you are in that process.
Mm.
And the moment you recover yourself, you transform. It's
Mm.
like when there's a cocoon who wants to transform in a butterfly, right? So they just eat and make a protective shell, and that shell is where, like, when we are closed off from the world, we are like, oh, this happened, that we are just sobbing in inside, and we are trying to overcome our those emotions, right? And then we transform into a butterfly,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, sorry, that's a very interesting in between word you said. Yeah, and that's very good. Yeah, so thank you for your feedback. Right, and we are towards the end, right? And I would really like you to please go visit artlune.com and visit our exhibition Paiband, and please please fill the feedback form, because your feedbacks will let us know what things we need to do next and what are your opinions. Because as you know now, for us, these exhibitions are not just something to place on the website or on the walls. For us, the goal is to initiate conversations, a meaningful conversation which makes you think. So when you look at these works, when you look at the exhibition, make sure to think about these questions and make sure to think about the possible outcomes of the answers, right? Because there is nothing right or nothing wrong in this world. So I bid farewell to everyone, and we have curatorial walkthrough on 28th of June, and after that, on 3rd or 4th, I have to confirm the dates. We'll be having a conversation with artists. So make sure to be there for both the sessions, because artists will be present and artists will be giving his inputs in on the thing. So I hope to see you guys there, and we have a feedback form in the description section along with the website exhibition link. Please visit the exhibition. Enjoy rest of your day, and see you guys on 28th. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.